Whispers in the midnight air, ghostly fingers in my hair, shadows dancing by my bed, echoes of the things they once said.
Welcome to another episode of Ghost Girls, for a paranormal podcast for the ghost curious, the skeptics, everything in between, and all those what the fuck was that moments. I'm Leah.
And I'm Nicole. And we are just a bunch of cuties. Who are trying to get spooky today and listen to some cool stories. So
Just a couple of girls who love ghost stories and love taking it in the ass. I'm just kidding.
I have notes on that one.
We'll cut that out. I literally was like,
Keep it in.
we were like, should we say that in front of Catherine?
and then and we were like, who do we say this in front of? I was like, Catherine.
Yeah.
I wonder what Mark's doing up there.
Absolutely. No,
I
love it. I love it. Anywhere you want to put it.
Anywhere you want to put it is great. But yeah, so that's us. And today's guest is amazing. We are in the presence of royalty here. Today's guest is a comedian and actress, and my very good friend Catherine McCafferty. She's originally from Chicago, where she was raised Catholic. Which
it's actually it does pertain to like believing in ghosts.
Yeah,
though.
to your
like,
stories.
Yeah,
We were
absolutely.
wondering,
Yeah.
She was raised Catholic. I don't know if she practices now, but she describes Catholicism as a pretty witchy religion, honestly. Catherine moved to LA with nothing but a suitcase and a dream, classic. And 9 short years later, she is a full-time performer and creator of a hit digital series called Pretty Gay. She's also a very funny stand-up comedian and had a hit one-woman show that was at the Edinburgh Fringe Festival and all over, really.
Yeah,
Catherine, thanks for being
We're
here.
so happy you're
God,
here.
thanks for having
Oh
me.
my gosh.
I love like when you get to be in the same room as your bio being read, and then you're like, I did do that.
Yeah,
That
is me. It's incredible, dude.
It's a fun little reminder.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for
You're
having
killing
me,
it.
though, to talk about ghosts.
Yeah.
Oh my
We're so excited to get spooky with
Dude.
you.
Yeah.
We're interested in your show Pretty Gay, just to start us off for
Yeah.
listeners who maybe haven't heard of it yet.
Yeah,
can you
absolutely.
tell us more about it?
Okay.
Yeah.
Twist my arm. So it's a digital series that I host where I go on mock dates. They're all real to me. With queer comedians
Love it.
and like creators and actors and stuff like that. So yeah, I get to just flirt like as
Yeah.
my job, which is pretty cool.
It's a dream.
So
It
cool.
is a dream. And
Nice.
then afterwards I get to find out if they like have an actual partner, and then my heart gets broken. So
Oh, sorry.
yeah, just sort of rinse and repeat. I am a romantic. No, but
Yeah.
it is so fun. We play like improv games. We play like games that or ask questions that like you could ask on a first date,
Yeah.
but then I'm a little menace.
I
So
love it.
yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
And salute.
It's a great platform for like your humor. I feel like a little mischief, a little cheeky. like,
Yeah.
it's just fun.
Yeah. And ultimately it's just like silly. You know?
it is.
Yeah. So it's just like queer people like laughing and
Yeah.
me being embarrassed over and over again.
I love it. You're
That's
hilarious on it. You're so good. I get why it's a hit.
Yeah,
It's a hit.
everyone go partake. in
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
It's on
if you-
Patreon.
Yeah, you can see clips on socials, and then the full stuff is behind like a paywall. But I'm supposed to stop saying this. There's like a free trial.
That's
cool. Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you get like 7 days, and you could binge some stuff.
I
Okay,
love
great.
it. I
Insider
love it.
info
Insider
for the
info.
Ghost Girl
For this economy.
fans.
Yeah.
Okay, no, that's
in this
great.
economy. Yeah.
Well,
love
truly,
it.
I mean,
Yeah.
it is though. It's tough. Like asking people to pay for content is like an interesting thing because, like, I mean, you guys probably know it's like when you are a creator, you're not getting paid a lot of the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
And you are doing it just because this is your dream. And then it's hard to like figure out how to make money. And sometimes it is like putting things behind a paywall. And then you're like, but I get it if you're broke. Cause
Yeah.
same, you know,
Yeah,
like,
right,
don't
right. I
know.
know. I have the same.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Even
Yeah,
with
it's an
clients, I'm
interesting-
like, I don't charge as much as I should because I'm like,
Right.
money, right?
I know,
Yeah.
I know. I was like
Yeah.
talking to one of my like my acting coach, and she helped me on this self-tape, and she was like, I understand like everybody's hard up for cash, so like whatever you can throw me. And I was like, no, like what's your rate? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I'm like, you're both like somebody that I respect, but you're a friend, and I've saved like money in order to pay for this service.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I can pay you your rate. And it's nice to
Yeah.
be in that position.
That's great.
But it's also nice for her to be in the position to be like, it can be sliding scale, you know?
That's so cool.
It's hard.
I
but
love
I feel like
that.
creatives understand that. Like
we all
creatives,
do.
we deeply
We're all
see each
like,
other.
Yeah, we're like, we want to give you a break. And also, if you can afford it, please
Then
pay me.
please.
Yeah, please pay me.
No, exactly. If you can, no pressure. I love it.
We wanted to kick this off in kind of a atypical way for us because
Yeah.
we have this form that we send people before
Mhm.
they come to the podcast. And it kind of like, we just ask these really basic questions,
Yeah.
you know, kind of getting to know their story, getting to know their relationship with the paranormal. And Catherine answered in such a unique and amazing way that instead of just like
Yes.
casually asking, we wanted to actually read your answer.
Please do.
Okay, so
Mhm.
when
So good.
asked what her relationship to the paranormal was, you said, and I quote, "Okay, so according to astrology, I am primed to be a death girl. Like everything in my chart is like you deal with death and grief well, and people will gravitate towards you with death and grief. And all caps, the stars don't lie. The first person I watched die was a nun, and that felt like a spiritual experience. But also growing up, there was this old woman who lived in my closet." End quote. And Catherine, we have so many questions. Like that piqued our interest
Yeah.
more than we've ever been piqued.
Your
before.
answers made us laugh the most.
We were
Like,
dying laughing.
Yeah, it was so good.
Like
Yeah,
5 stars.
That was
Yeah.
what came to mind.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. But the old woman who lived in my closet wasn't an actual old woman. The nun was an actual old woman.
Thank you
She
for
was a real old
clarifying.
woman.
She was a real old woman who was a nun who died, and was my great aunt. So there's a reason.
Whoa.
There's like a reason why I was there. Do you know what I
Right.
mean?
Like
Yeah,
just happened
when
to
you
see
said
her.
I watched this nun die, I was like, there's like a million things I need to know about this.
And
Right.
absolutely, and please ask away.
Okay, well, first off, I think Leah and I both really connected
Yeah.
to the term death girl.
Death Girl.
Yeah, death girl. Okay, cool.
How would you define death girl?
I think it's somebody who like deals with death well.
Yeah.
Who
Mm.
thinks and sees death like around her. Not necessarily in a negative way though.
Right.
You know, like I've had a lot of family members die or people in my life sort of leave this realm.
Right.
Mhm.
And I've been primed for it since I was little. Like I
Mm.
was 5 when my grandfather died and we lived with him.
Wow.
Oh.
So we were in the house when he died.
Mm.
And so it's been just like around, and like my mom was an ICU nurse.
Wow.
So, and she used to work in hospice then before that. So she was a death girl. Do you know what I
Whoa.
mean?
Yeah.
So like we're death ladies.
You're
I
death
guess.
You come from a
ladies.
lineage of death women.
Yeah, I come
Death
from
women.
death women.
Kind of sick though.
But like in a good, cool way.
Yeah.
Like not in, I don't know. I think that it's been baked into like the way that we were raised because we were introduced to it so young, and my mom didn't shy away from being like, no, like Papa died and
Right.
like this is what happened and
Right.
like you're going to the funeral, et cetera, et cetera. So like,
Wow.
yeah. Yeah.
You got introduced early.
Yeah, introduced
Yeah,
early. I
so
think that
it's-
like death girls are just like people who both deal with it well, encounter it a lot, and maybe even like
Mm.
have other people sense that and then tell
Mm.
them about their like death stories.
Right. So you feel like you kind of attract like conversations about
yeah,
that.
and I would hate to say that I
Ooh.
attract death.
Mm.
But-
right.
Yeah.
Right. But you're like sitting on an airplane and this woman's like, let me tell you about my dead son.
Kind
Yeah.
of.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I've like found myself in many bars talking to older men about like their grief journey.
Wow.
And I don't know how to explain how we get there, but we get there within the first 10 minutes. Do you
10
know what I
minutes
mean?
Yeah.
Like
Very immediate.
it's pretty immediate. And
Mhm.
like whenever anybody like takes me to a party, at some point they'll drop me off at a party. And
We're like,
you
Catherine,
know-
here's your party.
you know, no, you like go with a significant other or a friend where
Right.
you'll go to a party and then they'll make their laps, and then sometimes I'll just like stay and chat with somebody, and then
Mm.
somehow like that person will return, and somehow we're talking about like grief, death, I have no idea, but
Yeah.
it happens pretty immediately.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
You just have like an open vibe too.
Yeah.
Melissa, and people are like,
Hopefully.
I can tell her she has a face that I can talk to.
This phase you can talk to. Also, I'll ask pretty like questions that maybe other people wouldn't ask
Yeah.
for just small talk.
I gotcha. Yeah. You're not really a
Mm.
small talk girl.
I'm
You're
not. And I was like on a date, and then somebody was like, and I was talking about this, being like, oh yeah, I don't know, is this like bad that I don't do small talk? And she was like, well, I like having deep conversations, but don't you sometimes want to know like what somebody's like favorite meal is? And I was like,
Oh.
never occurred to me.
Never occurred.
That's actually not running through my brain. But if somebody else was like, what's your favorite meal?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be like, boring, you know?
Right.
Confusing to
It just doesn't
answer.
occur
Right.
to you to think about those
That's
things.
just like not what I'm leading with. And
Yeah.
then it was like a little jarring where I was like, am I dating wrong?
Like, what's your ideal question then? Like, if it's not, what's your favorite meal? Like, what's your ideal, like, non-small talk question?
Well, I don't know. Like, usually sometimes somebody will have like an interesting tattoo. And so then
Ooh.
I'll talk about that.
Ooh.
Or people just naturally will say something that then I'll ask like another, like a side question too, where like somebody was like, oh, I'm from Los Angeles. And I was like, okay, that's amazing. Like, where do your parents live? And they were like, oh, they live in the valley. I was like, oh, that's great. And then she asked me like where my parents were, and I said, and then she was talking about like what her mom does, and then I was like, oh, is your dad alive? Because she wasn't talking about her dad, and
Yeah.
I have a dead dad.
Yeah,
And she
same.
was like, actually no. And I was like, okay, yeah, same. And then she was like, oh, okay. I was like, did it happen suddenly? Because she didn't seem like open
Right.
to it. It just
Mm.
like she was giving off like a vibe.
Mm.
And she was like, yeah, I did. I was like, that must have been really hard.
Mm.
And then we're just like talking about that,
Oh,
you know,
wow.
and then talking about like, and then, or like somebody was like, yeah, I don't really know how to date. Like, I feel like this woman was in her like mid 30s, and she was like, sometimes I don't know how to relate to people in their mid 30s. And I was like, did you not have a lot of women in their mid 30s around you as a child? And she was like, actually, I lost my mom when I was young.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
Look at
So like
you.
then suddenly we're talking about that, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like that wasn't
wow.
modeled to because your grandmother who's like older raised you. Do you know what I mean? And so
Oh.
like
That's beautiful, honestly.
it is nice, but then you do sort of leave a date being like, was that therapy
Right,
or are we
right.
attracted
Uh-oh.
to each other?
No, absolutely. Sorry, I thought she was gonna jump. Absolutely. No, that's so interesting. Wow, you really know how to like ask the right questions.
Absolutely. I also, like, are you an empath? Do you consider yourself an
I would
empath?
say
I
you
guess
are.
so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say it like, or intuitive, like,
You are intuitive.
Yeah.
you know, when you can be
Yeah.
like, something is, or
Yeah.
like, I know how to read people's like subtle cues well.
Right.
Yeah.
Like sometimes people don't know when like their neck gets hot or something.
Ooh.
And like, you can be like,
wow.
you know, but
Yeah.
that's a nightmare too.
Yeah.
That is a nightmare. It's also sort of a nightmare to date somebody like that because I get cocky and then I'll be like, well, I know that something's
Something's
going on.
wrong. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
And then
Right.
usually something is going on, but I don't necessarily, I guess the wrong thing. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That makes complete
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah, I'm guilty.
So it's like you
Absolutely.
feel like you're like something is off, and I try not to make it about me. Like,
Mhm.
like I think as a younger person, I would be like, and it's something about me, but
Right.
usually it's not. Like,
Right.
you
That's
just
true.
grow up, and then you realize like most people are like concerned about something else.
It's true.
Yeah,
It's
that's so true.
Yeah.
It is
That is
like-
something you learn as you get older, is for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
And it is, it's hard to be tuned into someone like so intensely all the time. Like, I totally
It
hear what
is.
you're saying. Like, just
Yeah.
that overload of info can be good and overwhelming.
Yes. Yeah.
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 I love it. Wow. I like that you just ask these inquisitive questions. I was just thinking like, I think I have a similar thing where people just open up to me,
Yeah.
but I don't even like,
That's probably why you guys have this podcast,
Probably.
to be honest.
Honestly.
Yeah.
like I've been on an airplane sitting next to a woman who just starts showing me photos of her dead iguana.
Absolutely.
And I, because I'm an animal lover, and I'm like, oh, and I think it's because I had Betsy with me on the plane or something. But
Yeah.
I was just thinking like, but I always have headphones in. I'm never trying to invite it in.
Yeah, you have like, you're like kind of closed off with people.
And I don't know what it is. So it's interesting that we have that, except you're
Yeah.
like asking really thoughtful questions, and I'm just like, why is this happening?
Well, people
Why are you
like
talking to me?
gravitate towards you, and then I'm like asking like one question that kind of like pulls the thread.
I
and
love
then they're
it.
like,
That's so. I think they gravitate to you too. No, but you do ask great questions. I gotta ask you about this old woman in your closet, though.
yeah, and sure, please do. And please do. Yeah, just growing up, like there was this sort of like older, like decaying woman who lived in my closet. And I don't know how else to
Classic.
say it other than that. Like I
Yeah.
like going to sleep, I would always like see her face. Like when I closed my eyes, like in my closet, and I would be like, okay, I feel her presence, I know that she's there, but she's not like gonna hurt me necessarily.
Yeah.
Right.
Like as long as and then so I like played this game. It's like so messed up, I think, because I played this like bargaining game with her of being like, okay, so I'll like think nice things for her so that I can go to sleep without her like popping out or scaring me or like doing any, like I'll just try to make this like a really good environment for her.
So this is like a regular
That's very sweet of you.
occurrence. This was regular. You were
This is
like
so sweet of
seeing
you.
her.
Yeah. So every night I would like imagine her in my closet,
Okay.
or I mean, I'm assuming imagine because I'm not like looking in my closet,
Right.
right? I'm closing my eyes and then I'm seeing like this woman and then I would be like, okay, just like be calm. Like she isn't like inherently scary just because she looks scary because, you know, she's like gaunt.
Mm.
And then when I opened my closet, it wasn't like I would see her. Like I've definitely felt like I've seen like spirits or like a flash or like whatever, but I would like feel her just like in the back.
Wow.
And it's not like I had a big
Mm.
closet either.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to go look for her.
You're not seeking her out.
No, but
Whoa.
I'm like, her energy just lives in this closet.
It's interesting that she was in a closet because you were in the closet for a
And
long
I
time.
too was in a closet in a gay way, which is also kind of scary.
Also scary.
Also scary. And you need to create the right environment for it not
Right.
to be scary.
Right.
Yes.
That's fair.
But yeah, I don't know. And then like even like talking about it, I mentioned that I was doing this podcast to my mom. I'm like very close with my mom. And
Your
and I
mom's
was
the
like,
best, by the
my
way.
mom's
Shout
so
out.
great.
Yeah.
Shout out Margaret.
Margaret.
What a dream.
Yeah.
But I did like casually say like, oh yeah, and I'll probably talk about that old woman who was in my closet. And she was like, yeah, for sure.
I love it. It's like it's such a shared experience. She knows exactly what she's like, oh yeah, that old
Wow.
woman.
Yeah, because I think I probably talked about it as a kid. You know, I don't
Yeah.
have memory of talking about it with her, but her just acceptance of that, I was like, okay, so you do know what I'm talking about.
And she
Right.
accepted it.
Yeah, there was really no like, oh, that's not happening in my house. I think like they weren't quick to like deny your experience of like what you were seeing. It was sort of more like not that's not happening, but like, okay, well, are you scared? And the answer was sort of no. So it was like, okay.
I didn't feel like a dark entity or harmful presence.
No, but it felt like something that needed to be like calmed. So still
Interesting.
managed, which is
Managed.
interesting because like as a child, I was constantly trying to like manage everything and everyone.
That's really
That's probably why you're
interesting.
like have a heightened intuition.
Mhm.
Like, you're just used to that.
Mhm.
Yeah. Wow.
That's
So-
that's extremely
Betsy was like
interesting.
listening
I
attentively.
know.
Yeah, just a
wow.
woman that
and she
lived
was
in my
gaunt.
closet.
Like her clavicles were like grabbed.
Yeah, do you know what
gravy
I mean?
boats?
Like,
Absolutely.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Fun.
And she
Sounds
never
hot.
communicated with you.
no.
Just
Wow.
like was there. Just
Yeah,
presence.
was there. And then like later in life, I would read these stories of like when people like feel like a presence like touch them or something. And I was like, oh, thank God that never happened.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
I
So-
would have like freaked the fuck out.
Same. Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, like
Wow.
the sensation of being touched
Ooh.
by an
Mhm.
entity.
Yeah, I'm like, please don't touch me.
No, 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 no,
No,
no.
let's not be-
Absolutely
we're not doing that.
Not.
So it wasn't like a protector and it wasn't like a scary thing. It was just like she was just there and we respected each other's space.
I love that.
Hmm.
Boundaries. I love it.
Was that like one of the first experiences you had with something that felt paranormal or
Yes.
unexplainable?
Yeah, I would say, well, watching my great aunt die. So
And that's the nun.
that's the nun.
Okay.
So Sister Louise. So she died when I don't remember, but I was like 11 maybe.
Hmm.
And I had been introduced to death because I was in the house when my grandfather died, but
Yeah.
I didn't see him die.
Oh.
So we drove up to the convent. We drove my grandma up to the convent to be with her sister because the nuns were like, you know, Sister Louise is going. Like she's out of here. She was
Whoa.
also in her 90s. So
Wow.
Oh, good long life.
full
life.
long, yeah. And convents are, I mean, controversial opinion, but so peaceful, so cool.
I love it.
Just a bunch of ladies.
Just a bunch of
like,
ladies.
Kind of, yeah. And they're just like
Praying.
hanging out. And I was like, oh my God, what a great place to die.
I
Like
love
all
it.
the
So
nuns
true.
taking care of each other.
Yeah.
I was like,
Aw.
I want to do this, but without religion.
Yeah, no, totally.
But so we were in the room and then my grandma started to hear like a song. I don't remember what song it was, but she was like really hearing this music and it was early / late at night, you know, like early morning, late at night. And she assumed that she was hearing music that we all could hear because
gosh.
because it was like it was like a convent. People were playing organ music, but
As they
not
do.
at that time.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And so she was like, oh, what a beautiful, they're playing like this beautiful song and it means so much to me. And we were like,
What are you
what
talking about?
song? Yeah. And
Whoa.
that's like as my great aunt was dying, like my grandma was like hearing that song
And
and
only
it
she
like,
heard it.
yeah, it like felt like it felt like her spirit like was leaving. It felt like there was sort of like
Ooh.
a spiritual experience.
Wow.
But then I've watched other people die and I haven't had that experience.
And it was different.
Oh,
Yeah.
Interesting.
I was like waiting almost for like, where's the soul?
Interesting.
And then it's like, oh,
you didn't feel that
bummer.
with your dad, not to bring
No,
up your
not with my
Not-
dad.
oh, what interesting.
No, I wasn't like, ah,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
there wasn't like there has to be something else. But with my great aunt, it very much was like, oh, there's like a spirit going somewhere.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's because she was a good girl and went to church.
Yeah.
I'm just
and
kidding.
it's because she was a nun.
She was a nun.
Actually.
Who knows? Who
She
knows?
was one of God's girls.
Yeah.
God's
One of
gals.
girls.
So
Yeah.
you're a self-proclaimed death girl, and I'm interested if you can explain, like, how has your relationship with death ebbed and flowed and grown over your life? I mean, like this nun, your great aunt experience sounds very impactful, and then of course losing your dad. Just like what's the trajectory been, and like where are you at now with death?
I think like I definitely am not excited to experience it. Like I'm still somebody who like has fear around it.
Yeah.
What if I like sit and I think about like the nothingness, because I like definitely don't want to experience like nothing.
Yeah.
You know,
It's
like
terrifying.
That is scary.
yeah, so like my chest, like even now, like talking about it, like my chest is tight. Like I feel like I'm breathing like here, you know?
Ooh.
So definitely when I think like too much about it, I'm like, okay. But I do like that I've had these experiences because I think it like preps you for the unpredictability of like life. And it sort of also opened up conversations around like how people want to die, because I don't think that people talk about that enough. And like death is a business.
Yeah.
Like the medical industry is a business. They're making money off of you.
Wow.
And so are like funeral parlors, and like just depending on how you grieve and how you decide to get, put your body somewhere. That's like also like an industry.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So like there is like a capitalistic quality to dying, and I think that people should talk more about like, okay, so like how do you want to die? Like what feels like dignified to you? You
Putting
know?
the dignity back in death.
I love that.
Yeah, and I just like my mom was really my mom like wrote I mean she's written like a couple books actually, but her latest one was like specifically about like the healthcare like conveyor belt, and how like we spend so much money like toward like so much of the money that's spent is at somebody's like end of life versus like making their quality of life like better like throughout their life.
Right.
But we spend so much money just trying to keep people alive, just to keep them alive.
Yeah.
So like I think being raised by her definitely has influenced like me being able to talk about things like that and stuff, So shout out
Margaret.
getting the best care.
Getting the best care while you're still here and enjoying your life while you're still here. I also think it's interesting whenever I go to a funeral or a what are they called? A wake. How we're celebrating someone so much after they're not here, which is like a beautiful send off. But it's like, why don't we do this while we're still, and they can actually hear what you're saying.
Absolutely. My mom would, so we lived with my grandma, then when my grandma was dying, and I took care of her for the last like couple weeks, but she was a big, like, we're going to throw like big blowout, like parties and birthday parties. And she would always tell my aunts and uncles or my cousins who didn't like live near us when we were throwing those parties, like, come now. Don't come for the funeral. Literally come when grandma can like see you, hear you, talk to you. Like it's okay. If you want to mourn, like I think funerals are more for like the people who are still living versus the dead person. So absolutely if you want to mourn in community, I think people should. But like if you only have like one ticket to buy, maybe buy the ticket like when they're still alive.
Yeah. In fact, I did go to something similar to that in like 2019. There was this old woman who was dying of cancer, and she was like in her 70s or 80s. I can't remember. And it wasn't really someone I knew. It was like a mutual acquaintance, but I just happened to be at this wake.
Sure.
And she basically got to go to her own funeral. Like they were celebrating her. They were playing slideshows. There was like speakers about how this woman changed their life. And I may have accidentally joined a cult, but it was,
and that's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay.
But the point is, despite it maybe being a little culty, I thought that was cool that they
That
honored
is
this
cool.
woman while she was still around to hear it and,
I like
and
that.
receive it. Yeah.
I
So
like that.
It's really beautiful.
Absolutely.
I like that story, Leah.
you say, oh, thank you, Nicole.
You're welcome.
You say there's a lot of death in your chart. What's your
Tell us,
sign?
because you're like, my death chart.
And your astrology chart? Is that what you meant?
Yeah,
The
yeah,
stars
yeah.
don't lie.
Unless
Your
I made it
death
up.
or your
No,
birth
no.
chart says that you're like kind of designed for this.
Yeah, so I had like somebody read my chart, and then I'm also like on the Channy app. Shout out, not sponsored. But it's just like an app that like reads your chart and then like sort of tells you what
I
you're
love
like
that.
primed for. And I think it was the Channy app plus like this chart reading that I got. It has to do with like where your signs are positioned and what houses and
Yeah.
stuff like that. And I'm not like educated enough to really speak on it.
Right.
Because wow, burp, okay.
Oh, I burp all the
Hot,
time,
wow, attractive.
Really hot.
Love it.
But like, and it also has to do with like more than just your like sun, moon, and rising. But like my sun sign's Gemini, my rising's
Ooh.
Scorpio,
Ooh.
my moon is Capricorn.
Wow.
We have the exact, my rising is Scorpio, so that's how you come across, right?
Yeah,
My
I think so.
regular sign is Gemini.
Yes, sun,
And
yeah.
then my moon is Capricorn.
Oh my God, shut
Are
up.
we the same? I
Guys.
swear to fucking God. Are
That's
we the same person?
crazy.
That's really
Dude, I'm not
interesting.
Because
kidding.
Kaylin, our
Yeah.
mutual friend Kaylin, has the same, but I think she has a different moon.
Okay, different moon. Wow.
I'm not sure.
No wonder
though.
we're all friends.
Wait, that's nuts.
I didn't know we were that similar.
I didn't know that either. I
really
didn't know that
cool.
our moons were the same.
Yeah, Capricorn moon.
Love.
Maybe
I
that's
love
that's the entrepreneurial side. I'm sorry.
It is though.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
but Capricorn moons, I've been told, are difficult.
Oh, are we?
But apparently, they get along with Scorpio moons, and
Oh,
Wow.
I would
Okay,
say I'll
get
take
that.
I'll take that and run with
I'll
that.
take it.
Yeah.
I think we're easy, but that's just me. I'm just kidding.
I do see like
We're
I've had
sluts.
people like read my chart and be like, oh, especially where my sun sign is positioned.
Right.
Apparently it's positioned in a house, and I would have to look at my app, but it's
Yeah.
positioned, I think, in the house of relationship or something.
Oh,
and
okay.
I was told that is a very difficult house for your sun sign to be in, and if your sun sign is a Gemini.
Interesting.
wow.
It means that your relationships might be a little bit
interesting.
tumultuous. And I said, and they have been.
And they have been.
And actually they have been.
Well, hey.
What are your signs?
I'm a Aquarius sun, Aquarius moon, and a Sag rising.
Okay,
Ooh.
fun.
Yeah, very emotional, very sensitive.
Yeah, love is
Love it.
Sagittarius.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
That's what my kid will be.
Oh
And,
yeah.
Oh my God.
Hopefully by the time this comes out, I'm just like, I'm pregnant. you know,
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
I'm 3 months now, so I think by then I'll.
Yes,
Yeah.
for sure. No, and Geminis are supposed to get along with Sagittarius.
Oh, that's
like,
good.
really
I
Love
well.
that.
Yeah.
We
Hell
did it. I
yes.
got pregnant at the right time.
Perfect timing.
I love
Leah.
it. I love it.
Catherine, I do have questions for you because I was also raised in the Catholic Church.
Okay.
Went to Catholic school for 15 years.
Okay. I didn't go to Catholic school, but I did
You
do
didn't?
CCD. I did do like
Ah.
I went through the like confirmation, communion, all that jazz.
Oh, reconciliation. When
What?
you tell them like I've sinned.
Oh yeah. I mean, we did that, but
Ooh.
You
like
did the whole thing.
but I did, but it's like it's like
I can't remember.
the oaths to Christ or something. I
oaths.
don't know. It's something in religion that's like, okay, cool.
I really connected with what you said though. You're like, it's kind of feel like it's like a witchy religion. So I want to know, like, tell me a little bit about that, your experience and how you feel being raised in the church, like shaped your relationship to the spiritual realm, perhaps skepticism, openness, like, yeah, speak a little bit about that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Catholicism, they're like, oh yeah, there are all these saints that rule like different things, and you can say certain like little prayers depending on like what you're looking for. That's a spell. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah,
true.
It's a spell, straight
What are
up.
we doing here?
That's so
Um,
true.
Yeah. And so like I feel like religion is evil. Sorry.
It's okay.
But organized religion just like really breeds a power dynamics that I just don't think are healthy. And then as like a queer person and a woman, like witchiness or like astrology like finds you sort of to be like, healthcare is shit and we don't have a ton of community. Like, come like experiment with this and like maybe find something to guide your life, because we're all like, religion essentially, I think, is like people looking to be told that they're good, and like what's the map where I can be like, I'm good, and I know that I'm good because I said these prayers, or I know that I'm good because I went to church, or and so like I think it's like at its best, it's people looking to feel like they're being validated in their like in their quality in the world. And so like I think that the stars can do that too, where you're like, okay, well, I'm looking for a roadmap to this crazy thing called life, and maybe this is something that will connect me to a higher power, or like feeling like the world is bigger than myself. And like, obviously the stars are going to make you feel like you're small. And people should feel small. Like, the world is big.
Yeah.
So I think it like is a natural way to like right size your problems.
Yeah.
Now, growing up Catholic, you're like sort of burdened with this like, okay, so here's a bunch of guilt for just being alive.
The Catholic
it's called
guilt.
Original sin. Yeah. And it's like, just by being born you are bad and you're trying to dig yourself out of a hole.
Right.
So that has definitely ruled my life and been something that I've struggled with. But I also think that like being introduced to spirits or spirituality like young, and being introduced to like, you could pray to this saint and then maybe you'll feel better, sort of made me accept like, oh, maybe there are other realms, or maybe there are spirits, or maybe there are these other things that I can like invest in.
So it made you almost more open to it.
Yeah,
is what
it
I'm
did.
hearing.
It made me more open to it. And I think that also came from my mom wasn't religious and my dad was. So it's not like I was getting like hit by a ruler if I didn't like say the rosary, like I had different perspectives at play even growing up.
I really like how you answered that. I think it's really beautiful, like these moments in our lives where we do get to like create our own roadmaps and like figure out how to be right sized. Like I love how you phrased that. What was like that moment for you where you just like, I'm just gonna figure out a new map for myself? Like what was that?
I think like having my mom not be religious primed me to be skeptical of organized religion. So I never fully bought in to Catholicism.
Right.
So I wasn't necessarily like, I didn't need like a come to Jesus, if you will, moment of being like, and you're just a dude, like, like I think like I was always somebody who was like, well, maybe I'll say this prayer and maybe I will feel better, or maybe I'll feel worse, like, and then just sort of following like go where it's warm. I don't know.
Were we the same person? Because I also grew up with one religious parent, one atheist parent. And so I never fully bought in either, but was open to it.
Yeah. And I think like when you're open to it, then other things might find you.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. I love how you answered
so fluid.
that. We've been sexually fluid.
I'm open to anything.
She's an open girl.
She's an open girl.
We've been exploring skepticism a lot with people. Because weirdly, a lot of these people that we've been talking to who have had these like ghost experiences, most of them claim to have been skeptics
before.
And then they have like sort of a experience. Yeah, I'm sort of a why not believe girl.
I like that.
I like that too.
You're like, why not?
Yeah, I don't know a lot, and so why not?
And
why
none
not?
of us really know what happens.
And also, is it darkening my world? No.
Right.
Like, does it sort of make me get to laugh with my friends and like go like, okay, so do you have a story?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, why not be just delighted by life or the mystery of life? Like, I don't need it to be black and white.
Yeah,
I get it. 50 Shades of Grey.
50 Shades
there are
of
50
Grey.
shades.
There are 50 shades. Did you ever feel your dad's presence, or has he was just like, peace out, love you?
Oh, definitely like in dreams. I feel
Ooh.
like he visits me. And that's interesting because sometimes the dreams won't be good dreams.
Right.
They'll like technically be nightmares, but it's still more of a nightmare to wake up to the reality that he is dead.
Aw. No, it's makes sense.
Yeah.
So then you're like, put me back in that weird dream where my dad was still super sick.
Yeah.
Aw.
So like it is interesting, but yeah, I think like somebody's spirit can like live on in whatever way you decide. And
Yeah.
like he was really into signs and like seeing signs.
Wow.
So
Aw.
sometimes I'll like choose certain things to be like a sign from him.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
But it is like a choice, I think, to be open to that stuff.
Absolutely.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We were talking about that actually just before this because I
Yeah.
also lost my dad
Yeah.
tragically and unexpectedly when I was a teenager. And I feel like people are always asking me, like, do you just get signs all the time? Or like,
Mhm.
what's the relationship like? And I was telling Leah, I'm like, I've had like a few moments where I
Yeah.
felt like super connected. And then like, I guess I really connect to what you're saying. Like I do have like dreams and they're not always good.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to like process that sometimes.
No, neither do I. And it's like weird sometimes when you're like, because I like sleep around.
Yeah, you do.
That's like not true. But like I'll be like, if you sleep over with somebody new and she's like, oh, how'd you sleep? And you're like,
I had a dream about my dead dad.
yeah,
That's
you're
so
like,
funny.
I slept great.
That's so funny.
But like, you know, or like you're tossing and turning and it's like, yeah, I sort of was just dreaming about my dead dad. I don't know. I don't know what about last night really brought him up for me.
That's
but
really funny. Like, I traveled to another dimension, but I guess I slept okay.
yeah.
Did those experiences leave you feeling like more connected or just more confused? Like any of your paranormal, like the woman in your closet.
Oh yeah. I think I'm like an accepting girl. Like
Yeah.
somebody can literally, like somebody recently like called me up and they asked me these really specific questions about like different forms to start a business / like financial stuff that I didn't really have a ton of answers to. But they were like specific enough where I was like, I should ask why you're asking these. Like,
Right.
but then at the end of the conversation, I went like, hold on, sorry. Should I ask like why you need these forms or like why you want to see like an example so that you can copy this form? Where I'm like, are you doing something illegal?
Wow.
But it didn't occur to me until the end of the conversation to be like, I was just like, boop, derp, derp. Well, I have these answers or I don't have these answers, you
Right.
know? And so I feel like with any kind of experience, like even like the woman in my closet, I was like, well, no, she's just like there. Like,
You know-
what do you mean? I just don't have the experience of being like, I'm going to be confused or
Yeah, right, you're very
reaffirmed by
accepting.
this.
You radically accept
You
it.
rather-
Yeah, it's
you-
just like,
you
well,
do.
She's there.
Sometimes I'm shocked by it's kind of off topic, like your tolerance of just some bullshit that you encounter in life. Like, because that's why I do think you're an empath, because you're so, it's kind of beautiful in a way. I know sometimes it hurts you too, but like you just see the good in everyone, even when I'm like, this person is hurting you. And
I
you're,
know.
but you'll see what's good about them, and you don't seem
Or
to
like
over personalize it.
Or like
Or you adapt. Yeah.
like being super adaptable to like whatever situation you're in.
Yeah, you're very adaptable.
And then like that does bite you in the ass though, where it's like literally I've had friends, Leah included, being like, hey, this doesn't have to be your new normal.
Yeah.
And
That's why you're
like,
so accepting of
"Oh,
that
I
woman.
just didn't even, you're just like, it didn't occur to me to be like, is this bad?
Right.
It's just happening.
Yeah. Like,
You know?
that's why you accepted the old woman in your closet. You're just-
Exactly. I was
you're
like,
just
this is just
and
happening.
there she is.
It's not necessarily bad.
Sometimes our superpower is also like the thing that, like, our kryptonite at the same time.
Yes.
It's weird.
Oh,
Yeah.
for sure. For sure.
But it's also a beautiful quality. But yeah.
Well, thank you so much.
Do you feel like you had the woman in your closet?
Yeah.
Have you had any other like experiences like in recent years that like just felt confusing or like unexplainable?
Oh, I have had sleep paralysis.
Ooh.
Oh wow, we
and
haven't
that's-
talked about this before.
That's like classic. Like I looked it up and I had like the figure at the end of the bed, which is like a classic
Wow.
sleep paralysis thing. I've had sleep paralysis a couple times where you can't move and you're just like scream or like what it like feels feel so freaky. But when there was like the figure at the end of the bed, I was like willing myself. I was like, you have to launch yourself out of this bed. And I don't know why. Like that was my initial thought. I was like, launch. And then I woke up like, or I was like jarred awake because my knees hit like the wood. And I had in fact launched myself out of bed.
You launched.
Whoa, you launched.
Oh
you did it.
my God.
You broke free.
And then I like immediately like was crying, but then I started laughing because I was like, this is so insane.
That's so funny.
This is so ridiculous.
Sleep paralysis is really scary.
It was
is
scary.
really scary.
Yeah. Have you guys ever had that happen?
Yeah, I did it in my old apartment before moving in with Sean. And like, as soon as I left, it stopped. I'm like, was it just that apartment?
Oh,
Like,
and maybe
Yeah.
there were like
it
bad
did have dark
spirits
energy
or
there.
something. I don't
There were some
know.
shady characters that lived
Yeah.
there. Like I had a stalker
Oh.
and I was just like,
Oh,
my-
that apartment.
yeah. And I'm just like, is this
Scary.
place haunted? Like, anyway. yeah.
Absolutely.
But yeah, it is so scary. And you know what's happening and you just like break out of it. Move.
Yeah.
Move your left leg, you know?
Yeah. And it's like you have no control. You
Yeah.
literally can't. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
That- It's nuts. Wait, was your dad the Catholic one?
No, actually, so weird. I think my grandparents were the Catholic ones. My parents were not religious. They just
Oh, not religious.
put me into Catholic school. I don't know why. I think just it was the thing to do. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I like connected to that as well. I was like, I
Yeah.
was in these environments, but yet my parents weren't
Yeah. Okay.
like
okay.
following it.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Was that like interesting then when you lost your dad? Was there like a religious aspect to his like mourning or no? Like, did you guys do a Catholic funeral or?
We definitely did a funeral at a church. However, I do think it was like a Methodist church.
Oh, interesting. Okay, fun.
But I do remember like after I lost him, like that was probably the time in which I was like, maybe I'll lean into this God thing for a bit, you
For
know,
sure.
like
yeah,
started praying and like I was just like, I think I need help to make sense of this.
yeah, absolutely.
And so I think it like my interest in spirituality like began to peak after that experience.
yeah, because you really feel like you're just like dropped in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah. And it's like, how do you make sense of something
what
like
can
that?
be a raft?
Right.
And sometimes it's a prayer.
Sometimes it is.
Sometimes it's a prayer, sometimes it's other things.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Cool.
Yeah.
J-dubs.
Yeah, man.
Sorry, not my podcast.
J-dubs.
No, I love that. What is J-dubs?
Yeah.
Just wondering.
Oh, I knew
Oh,
that.
I thought you were doing like
You can
Yeah,
ask
Jesus
questions.
thing.
Yeah,
I
WWJD.
thought you were like, yeah, what would Jesus do? I
Yeah.
was like, what? Yeah, dude. No, I get it. It's like, I'm not religious either, but that Regina Spektor song, no one laughs at God in a hospital. It's like when you're in those situations,
Yeah.
all of a sudden you're like, I'm going to pray.
Yeah.
And I think
And
it's
there's
true.
something calming
It
to
is,
prayer
yeah.
because it is like a meditation, right? Because
It
like
is.
even the rosary is like the same prayer like 10 times. That's
Yeah.
like what a decade is. And so it's like,
Yeah.
that is like a way to meditate. And
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So something else, like I
Yeah.
think we have time for a few more questions,
we do.
but
Yeah.
what do you think makes certain people more open to these
That's a
experiences?
good question.
And but then the second part of that question, can you change that? Like, do you think someone can be more open or
I think
more
so.
closed?
Oh, for sure. I mean, like, I think that at different times in my life, I've been more open or more
Yeah.
closed, where I think it just depends on like what's sort of baked into your early life, maybe.
Mm.
I'm not sure, but like, I had a great childhood.
Nice.
You said that with the biggest smile on your face.
I would never like say that I didn't, but there was definitely a lot going on, you
Mhm.
know? So in that there was like chaos. And so I think like people who maybe experience that can either really want structure and really want answers or be like, I'm just going to adapt and like change and be open and like
Yeah.
whatever. And so I've done both sort of, but when I'm more like adaptable and open, then I think I'm just more willing to like see things that are unexplainable.
Yeah.
Mm.
And so, yeah, I think that people can change. I think it just depends on like what is surrounding you and like where you are in your life. And, you know, like, were you guys always like ghosty people or?
Not really.
I think I was always just like incredibly curious,
made you
about
curious.
everything, and that
Yeah.
ultimately led to being interested in
Mm-hmm.
ghostly things.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so too. I'm usually a see it to believe it kind of girl, but the older I've gotten, the more things I've experienced that are just kind of unexplainable.
Yeah.
People that I love and trust telling me things, I have no reason not to believe them. It seems really genuine, like they really had that authentic
Right.
experience. And I'm like, yeah, there's some stuff that we just don't understand. It's like
Right.
unexplainable, beyond our comprehension. Like I have a hard time believing there's not something going
Right.
on.
And that's what we were talking about this earlier. Just
Yeah.
like the more true, just raw experience that you have, I feel like it's inevitable just to become more open because you're like, there's so much vastness and like variety to this life
Yeah.
that like it's like really hard to just be closed off and not believe some things, you know?
Yes. Yeah. And also, like, I don't know, things are bad. So why
Yeah.
not?
Why
Yeah,
not?
why
like
not?
things are going on in the world that are bad.
Yeah.
And it's like, why not believe that like there's a little ghost in my room?
Absolutely. Bring the
Whatever
magic
brings
back.
you
Like,
comfort. you know.
exactly.
Whatever brings you peace. Yeah,
Mhm.
no, I think that's good. Well, here's some questions we've been asking everyone
Yes.
to kind of wrap up.
Okay, fun.
If you were a ghost,
Yes.
a pretty gay ghost,
Yeah,
that's not
for sure.
homophobic. That's the name of her show.
Yeah.
Call
plug,
back.
Call back. If you were a ghost, what would be your one message that you would leave for the living, whether it be like scrawled on a foggy mirror or like,
Fun.
written on a wall, like Red Room style? Like what would
Yeah.
your message be to the
Oh
living?
man, I think I would want to be a little mischievous.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
get that
You
energy
would.
from you.
Yeah. So like I feel like I'd be writing like boobs on
Boobs.
Yeah.
mirrors.
Oh, I love this. I love
Yeah.
this.
I'm like drawing like little faces. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like I'm trying to make somebody laugh.
I love that.
Like I
Yes.
think like being a ghost should be silly.
Yeah.
It's like I don't know. I used to be like hung up when I was a kid. I thought that I would die in my sleep and whatever. And so before I went to bed, I would like write something that I felt like would be meaningful last words.
Your manifesto.
I would write something that would be like I loved everyone, and it would be so like cheesy and like one sentence like I loved everyone and you did your best.
That's so funny. I love
And
it.
I'm like 10 and then I like
Oh my God,
and I would
sweet.
put it under my pillow and fall asleep, and then if I woke up the next day I would be like, okay, cool, we'll use another one tomorrow. So
funny.
I like
Cycling through.
Yeah.
yeah, and I'm like, I don't really need that. Like when I'm a ghost, like I don't need to be
Yeah.
leaving like those cheesy messages.
Yeah.
I want like fart. I want like
Yeah.
poop. I
Yes.
I
Mhm.
want like to get somebody at like their base humor.
That is you making people laugh. So far we've heard like be brave, enjoy your life, and you're like boobs. I love it.
yeah,
I
like
love it.
I'm like boobs also is be brave and enjoy your life.
It
Do you know what
is.
I
It's
mean?
the
It just
same
depends
thing.
on your perspective.
I would appreciate.
Absolutely.
I hope that a ghost like you haunts me one day with
Yeah,
messages
I
like
kind
that.
of want that.
I know,
too.
right? And don't you sort of want to be haunted by like this like horny little ghost?
Like silly and funny and
Absolutely.
horny. Yeah, that's the dream.
That sounds ideal, honestly. I
That's the
love
dream.
that.
Like a raunchy
Yeah.
Casper.
Like there was that one woman who everybody was like talking about who like at like 8 p.m. a ghost visited her and gave her an orgasm every day or something.
Oh, I
Ooh.
heard about this.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I was like, go off, queen.
Yeah,
Like,
well, that's
absolutely.
fun.
People were like, that's insane or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, for sure. Everything's insane.
Yeah.
What do you mean? If you're getting off to a ghost at 8, I'm sorry, you're having a scheduled
Well,
orgasm
daily.
every
That's
day?
healthy. That's healthy.
Hell yeah. I'm like,
It's a
that's the kind
generous-
of ghost that I want to be.
She's got it
I want
figured
to
out.
get in there.
That's
I
a
want to be
generous
like,
ghost.
excuse me, could we maybe have some ghost sex?
I love this.
I fucking love
Um,
that.
Speaking of ghost sex, is there anything you want to plug or anything you want to promote? Or where can people find you?
Yeah, tell
Yeah.
everyone.
Of ghost sex. Yeah, follow me on Instagram or TikTok at Catherine_McCaff.
Ooh.
Or follow the Pretty Gay Patreon. So that's just Pretty Gay on Patreon.
Hell yeah, dude.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we have a
Yeah.
new season. Season 3 is coming out, and that'll take us into 2026. So
That's exciting.
it's still going on. So
You're doing
go-
great. You're killing it.
You are
Wow.
killing it.
Killing
You guys are
it.
killing it. And
Remember
then we're
when
all going to
you-
be dead, and we're all going to be horny ghosts.
We're all gonna be
Yes.
horny ghosts when we die. And this has been another episode of Ghost Girls. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, this is a podcast where we try to learn more about life by thinking a lot about death.
That's
and
right.
until next week,
Stay curious.
stay curious.
Bye. Thank
Bye.
you, Catherine.
Footsteps fading down the hall, paintings moving on my wall, chills that wrap around my spine, trapped between the threads of time.